Having kids, I got 3 brothers, 3 sisters, and I started working at the age of 11. We actually had a concrete business. And of course, being a kid, you marvel over like superheroes and you want to look like, Superman or whatever. So I was always intrigued by the muscle, and I actually didn't start training until I was 18 years old, but in high school I played football. I was just really limited what I could do for sports. The track team wanted me really bad, but I couldn't participate in a lot of the weekend events because I was working after school, weekends, and school vacations in the concrete business, and that taught me a lot of dedication. I give a lot of credit to what that did for me. And I was the kid that if I saw any leg equipment in there, I would do every leg machine, every chest machine, every shoulder machine. So I kind of overtrained, but at the same time, my body still responded because for the first time in my life, I wasn't doing the labor work. I was actually going to college and I was eating. I learned about nutrition. I learned about a lot of stuff about it. High school, I used to bring me to competitions. We'd have our football team would do these powerlifting competitions, and I would kill everybody in all the lifts, squat, deadlift. I mean, I benched 350 in high school. I didn't even know how to lift weights. So I had a lot of strength, too. So I've worked in the concrete, so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to dedicate myself to the gym. I joined the gym my 18th birthday. It was 1991, August 3rd. I saved up $300, and I put a membership down at Gold's Gym in Worcester, Massachusetts, and that's when I started my quest in bodybuilding. I linked up with a nutritionist probably 6 months after training named Chris Aceto, who's a big dietitian for a lot of the top guys. That's where I really started responding, and I made improvements so quick. The first time I got on stage, I was hooked, and I placed second at my first show, became a teenage national bodybuilding champion at 19. The story of Jay Cutler started. At 19, I was a 700-pound squatter. I bench pressed 500 pounds. I would squat until my nose bled. If you didn't squat till your nose bled, then you were doing it wrong. But that's the kind of mentality, that's the kind of place I trained at. Like, the guys were hardcore, wrapped our knees, we got that weight up there, and my legs were my easiest body part to build. I was known for my legs. When people started talking about this up-and-coming teenager kid, in Massachusetts, they talked about, the kid with the crazy legs, because I had, the best legs in the gym, even after a year of training. It was just one of those body parts it was a sweep, I realized after time that, hey, I didn't need to go that heavy, but I loved going in there and just killing it and having the strength. But I realized the 1-rep stuff isn't going to get me to the Olympia stage, and that's where I focused on the 10 to 12 repetitions. But along the way, I actually got better and better and better. Turned pro at 23, which is relatively young. I was 25 at the United Champions. I finished 11th, and it was very disappointing for me because coming from a guy that won almost every show I ever did, especially I competed in 3 shows before I got my pro card, it wasn't very difficult to get that card. But then competing, it was a whole next level getting to the pros. I was kind of like, wow, it's a big eye-opener for me. Every show I ever did, I tend to actually be more dedicated and more focused on the nutrition aspect and the consistent training, that it allowed me to make improvements. And I think that's really what kind of built was the end. And then I was just competing once a year for the Mr. Olympia. After you win everything else, that's kind of what they do as we kind of move towards the one crown. I was qualified for the Mr.Olimpiyad, which was obviously huge then. Went to Olympia and I got dusted. I got a second to last. I was 15 out of 16 and I was like, fuck, should I quit? I remember saying to him, I'm just not good, you know, and Joe Weider actually, who brought Schwarzenegger, moved me out to California. Like, man, we're going to go out to California, we're going to crush it.
You know, overcome whatever weaknesses I had. It inspires me to be able to train at 100% and see improvement consistently, and just hopefully it'll be enough to win.
I went to Olympia and I got 8th. So I moved up half the position from the year prior. Sat out the next year, and I came back to the Olympia, and that's the first time I got second to Ronnie Coleman, and that's the first time ever in my career I realized I could actually win the Mr.Olimpiyad competition. Could have won that show, and I placed second, and I said, holy shit, I'm going to win this contest at some point. It was just crazy. It was the best Ronnie we ever seen. He was like 280 pounds and ripped, and no one was going to beat him that year. No matter how good, in that year I was really on a roll. I had just won the Arnold, and I was like the new up-and-coming future Mr. Olympia. So that continued. 2004, same thing. Going to Olympia, I thought I was going to win. And then 2005, same thing. Second again to Ronnie Coleman, and I said, this is it. Like, he's, you know, I got to put a package together that's going to beat this guy. So I said, you know what, 2006, I'm going to come back. I'm going to just be fuller and bigger. And that's when I finally knocked him off.
Can bring the Olympia gold medal, the Sandow statue, Mr. Olimpiyad, Jay Cutlers!
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel and support me.